To open up Photoshop, you can either look at your keyboard. Right by F4, you have an option of launching your launchpad, or you look on your screen, it's right down here, looks like a rocket. You click on it, then to find Photoshop, just go through the different ones until you see PS. Oops, skipped it. There it is, right down here. I want to have this accessible all the time, so I'm going to click on it, drag it without letting go of that click. Then I let go once it's over my, I think this is called a home bar. Once it's there, I can open it from my home bar. For this tutorial, I want to show you 3 different things. First, I want to show you how to create a canvas so that you have somewhere to work and you can change the dimensions so that it's a printable area if that's what you're hoping to do. Second thing I want to show you is how to upload photos and move them onto your canvas. And the third thing I want to show you is how to save these images on your computer. So first off, creating a new canvas. If you'll notice up in the top left it says Photoshop CC. If you select the background of your desktop, you will be on a different thing. It's not Photoshop, instead it's Finder. So make sure you click onto the program if when you're doing commands and you're doing things it's not working. Once you're selected onto Photoshop, I can go up to File and New to create a new canvas. So I'll do that. Once I have a new canvas, I'll retitle it. I'll call this one Me. Next, I want to change the dimensions of the width. Right now, it's set at 468 pixels. By clicking the pixels, going down, I can change it to inches, centimeters, etc. I'm going to use inches because that's what I'm familiar with. Now I'm going to change the width to 8.5 inches. On here, you'll put 8.5. Height, I'm going to change to 11 inches. That way it'll fit perfectly on a piece of paper. Everything else I'm going to pretty much just leave the same. Press OK. Now I've got a canvas that is the size of a piece of paper. Second thing I want to do is open up my photos. So I click on File, I go down to Open. Then it will say, where are my photos, or where are the photos you want to open? So I go to my desktop. If I just recently downloaded them off the internet, they might be under downloads. For me, the photo I'm going to use is on my desktop. I labeled it. It's a good idea to always label what pictures you're going to use. Then I click Open, and it will move it onto here. If you look up here, there are 2 tabs, one with my photograph, another one with my canvas. I want to move my photograph onto my canvas. But before I can do that, I need to unlock it. If I try to move it right now, I click it, drag it, this pops up. It says, could not do that because you have to unlock that layer. So I say, okay. So I hit the lock, that unlocks it. What do you know? There's other ways to do that. By the way, everything I teach you, there are multiple ways to do it. But here's just an instructional video on how I know how to do it. So if I wanted to move this now, I click it and drag it, it moves around and I can do those things. One shortcut you need to remember is Command Z. That undoes the last command you gave the computer. So I can undo my undo and go back and forth like that if I just hit Command Z. Let's say I do a couple things. So I select an area and then I accidentally delete it and then I want to undo multiple things. If I hit Command Z, it undoes that. If I press it again, it undoes my undo, if that makes sense. So if I want to go back further, I have to press Command, Option, and Z, and then I just keep holding down Command and Option and press the letter Z multiple times, and then I can go back multiple times as far as I need to. The other thing you want to do is another shortcut that you should know is the letter V. Allows you to move whatever it is you want to move, whatever's selected. If I want to move this from here over to my other canvas, I would let go, but that might not be a good idea because that image is really large. So watch what happens when I let go. Whoa! We got some details on my face. I don't like that, so remember the command to undo. Command Z if it's just one thing. If I had done multiple things and wanted to undo all of those things, Command Option Z. So I need to transform this image and make it smaller. The next command you need to know is Command T. Notice how it changed my picture just slightly around the edges out of these little boxes. Those are to transform my image. If I press this corner bottom right, it's going to squish it or it's going to make it flat. I don't like that, so I'm going to press Enter. Then I'm going to hit Command Z to undo what I just did. I want to transform it. Hopefully you remember the code or the command. Command T. Now instead of just clicking and dragging, I'm going to press on my keyboard the Shift button, then click that corner, and when I try to transfer it or transform it, it changes. Notice as I'm doing that, we've got a W and a H right next to the transformed image. That is telling me my width and my height. Right now it says 33.958 inches wide and 22.639 inches high. So I'm going to shrink it down so that the width will fit on my piece of paper, which is under 8 inches. I let go of the mouse button, then I let go of the Shift button, I press Enter, and now my image has been transformed to little teeny tiny. So now I'll select that image, go over to my canvas. Now when I release, it should be small enough to fit, hopefully, if I did it right. So I let go. Yay, it's working. So now I have my image onto my canvas. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is how to save your image. So make sure you're still in Photoshop and you haven't selected a background or another application. I will go to File. Then there's the option down here as Save As. I click Save As. I can change the name of the file. I'm going to leave it as me though. Then I can change where I want to put it. I'm going to put it to my desktop so it pops up over here. I'm also going to change the format. Well, this one I'm going to change as save as Photoshop. And then I'm going to make another copy and save it as a JPEG. If it was edited, that's the sort of thing I would want to do. So Photoshop, save. It's going to say, oh no, you want it to be compatible? It might not be. And I say, okay. And then I'll save as a PSD file. Then I'm going to save it again. File, Save As. This time I'm going to change it from a PSD file. I'm still going to have it located on my desktop. So I click Format, go down to JPEG. That's the type of file I want. I click Save. And then you can choose the resolution if you want it really high quality or lower or whatever. I'm going to choose high. Click OK, and then now I have on my desktop my Photoshop file, my original file, and then the new JPEG file. Basically that concludes this, except for I do want to just mention if you're trying to learn shortcuts, if you click File or wherever you're going, scroll down to the command you want to do, look to the right of it, it will have what that command is. So Command N would create a new file. Command O would create or open up an image, the two things we learned today. Or you press Command, Shift, and the letter S, then you can save as the type of document you want. So I would recommend looking at those commands, whatever you're using a lot of, you want to learn,